Hello, everyone. Melissa here again, and I wanted to welcome you to our very first episode on this channel. I am extremely thankful to uh, the group of persons around me that made this possible. I am extremely happy to share with you loads of information, but I promise on this first episode, we will take it very light. It will be very short, and we will keep it to the point. So who am I? Lots of people have been seeing my face and wondering, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? So I wanted to give you that information. I am Melissa Livingston, and I am a business owner. I own a company by the name of Premier Executive Solutions, and we provide training solution as well as a corporate solutions to organizations and individuals, specifically on assisting them with their people related challenges and helping them to set up good systems within organizations or personally to help them to move forward and grow. So this channel exists because I wanted to share with you some quick tips, hacks that can, give you some very good progress without having to overthink it, do the guesswork. Some things that I have already proven that works that I could share with you for you to apply them. I remain in a very humble position. I do not know everything. None of us do. There are things that I do, however, have very good experience with in my area or my time or expertise that I'm hoping to share with you that can help you to quicken your progress in where you are, getting from where you are to where you need to go. So today we're going to focus on a very simple teaching lesson. We're going to talk about leadership within organizations. And I know the topic of leadership is very, very vast. It's a very broad and huge topic. And I wanted to share this with you as a very simple learning. But before I do note also, as you can see, I am a John Maxwell certified trainer and coach. And what that means is that I have access to his content, his information. And what I do is make that culturally relevant to our local workforce. Lots of times, sometimes people think, how can I use this information? Oh, what can I do to implement this? Or how can I take this content or this information and apply it immediately to my work? So I'm hopeful that in today's episode that I give you some clarity and some information on, how that can be possible as well. So back to our topic on leadership, I have recently encountered um, a company that experienced a great loss. And in that journey of watching how things unfolded, it became so much more clearer that the direction of any organization or person is based on their leadership standards and qualities. And lots of people may not believe that to be true, but the leader of any organization, group, or body sets the tone, really sets the tone for how things end up or how things turn out in the long run. And lots of people think, oh, I'm not a leader. I don't lead anyone. We all are leaders. You lead yourself. And if you look around at the things that you have accomplished, what you've done, the relationships you have, then that will kind of tell you what kind of leader you are or how impactful, I should say, of a leader you are. When people look at you, they should be able to see, the work that you've done, the impact that you've had. And most people use their leadership, the measuring stick for that as how do I think of myself? And really, it's not really how you think of yourself. It's about how others think about you or how others are impacted, I should say, by your actions or by the things that you do. So it's never wise to use your own judgment, your own opinion to determine how well you're leading a group of people or, what impact you have. The impact you have is determined based on those around you and how their lives are improved or how far they're able to move as well. And being a facilitator for a number of years, you get to see people kind of struggle with something and you help them over that hurdle. And it is such a fulfilling feeling to be able to see that, they've overcome that and they move from one point to the next. And it could be in any area or any aspect. I'm sure most of you think of a time or a person that you've helped with a particular thing and that thing turned out really well, or you help them to learn something, and you see them, succeed in that area. It brings you, as an extreme sense of satisfaction or gratitude, that you've really helped, someone to overcome something. So definitely look around you and see what's the impact that I've created in the space that I'm at. How do people value me? Do they what are the things? If I'm to ask 10 persons around you, regardless of their position or regardless of what's happening, how are you as an individual? How are you as a leader, as a person? Whatever that feedback that you get from those 10 people, or maybe ask them to describe you in one word, and make that a challenge. Feedback is extremely important because feedback tells us how we're doing constantly. So I want to urge you to make it a habit of constantly asking people around you for feedback. And in order for you to kind of know where you're going, you have to kind of get some sort of compass to kind of figure out where am I heading and some way of measuring that. And the way of measuring that is through feedback. In dealing with people, you will find it to be an extremely challenging task. But think about it in every single interaction that you have, or in every single space that you go, in your home, in your work, in your church, in your schools, um, with your recreational activities. People are literally everywhere. And how amazing it would be for us to learn to connect and communicate effectively with those people around us. It means that we will be able to move a little further and faster. Not to be the person that doesn't get along with anyone. You will find that to be extremely difficult for you to accomplish anything if you constantly have to cross over those people related hurdles. So I urge you to take some time to do that reflection on, not just as a leader, but as an individual. Where are you in your journey? Where are you going? And some way of measuring that or reflecting on that. Sometimes the noise is just so much, there's just a lot going on. You're so busy, there's so much things to do. But it's important to take that time to do that reflection. And in doing that reflection, the best thing that you can do is to be very honest with yourself. And irregardless of how you show up to other people, you should make sure that the person that you're honest with is yourself. So you know that when you are having a conversation with you in that reflection time, that you're very honest and very real in how you show up. And I think that's the first step, because in order for you to look outwards, you have to fix what's within first. And lots of people have trauma they're dealing with, situations that are happening, that you really have to strengthen, your mindset, and, have a solid foundation on where you stand. And then you'll be able to show up to others in a more healthy way. So take that time weekly to do some reflection, do some thinking, shut off the phone, turn off the TV, put away the Netflix, uh, stop the scrolling, and take just about 5 minutes to be with you and to kind of understand where you're at right now. I think that is super important. And having that honest conversation with yourself, and find ways to have others also give you some feedback. And when they do, try to be in an unbiased position. Most times we take feedback from people that we like. I like you. You and I are friends. So the things you tell me, I'm more prone to listen to that versus someone who I'm not really great with, but that person provides me with feedback that sometimes cuts really deep. Or sometimes it hurts my feelings, you know? So you have to look at things from a perspective of if you want to be better, any feedback is feedback. You take it and you assess it with some unbiased lens where you really look at the content of what is being said and see if there are things that you can improve along the way. And sometimes we hear the same things over and over again. Over and over, we hear the same things from different people in a different way, but it's the same information. So, what is key is that you listen for those common things to hear how am I doing, and you kind of be deliberate in measuring that. Another great way is making your own list of questions. If you have two questions you ask yourself on a weekly basis. Who did I help this week? How did I show up? You create your own questions that you wish to ask in your reflection time as well. And that will be very helpful in you measuring where you want to go. Super important to work on your communication. We will be focusing on a series of content in the upcoming videos, but I wanted to share that quick one with you on leadership and how you can, kind of focus on where you're going and using that compass to arrive there. I urge you to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I will bring to you each week content, information, not just on leadership, but on productivity. What are things that you can do to stay more productive? There are times where we are so overwhelmed by doing other people's tasks, and it kind of distracts us from the things that we have to do. So, asking yourself, what's important? What moves the needle? What are the things that I really should be paying attention to? Um, how we were generally conditioned to think, is that really the way that we should continue to push forward towards? So I will bring you additional content in the coming weeks. I urge you to continue to be on the path of learning and growth. Share this with somebody who you think it may help. And I look forward to serving you in future videos. Thank you for tuning in.